All right, let's repeat this exact same refactor inside of our cart application. So to get started, I'm going to find my cart. I'm going to find the src directory, bootstrap.js. At the top, right underneath our import statement, I'll add in const mount. We're going to receive some kind of HTML element as an argument. I'll then cut and paste everything down there into the mount function. And then rather than trying to render our application into some cart dev element, we're going to instead render it into that provided element. Then after that, we'll put in a check to see if we are running this project in development and in isolation. So we'll do a process env node env of development, then a L. We'll try to find some element inside of our local HTML file with an ID of dev-cart. And you know what? I think we actually called this one cart-dev. Yeah, cart-dev. This one is actually cart-dev. So then if that element does exist, let's call mount. Okay, after that, we will export our mount function. And that should be it. So again, the export is going to be used by our container application. Before we go over to our container, we do have to update our webpack config file. So we need to make sure that anytime someone tries to get at cart show, we're not going to give them the index.js file. Instead, we're going to give them our bootstrap.js file. So bootstrap. After saving that webpack file, we'll then go and restart our webpack process for the cart very quickly once again. So back at my terminal, here's my terminal window that is running my cart. I'll restart Webpack. And then back inside of our container, I'm going to first go into the containers index.html file. I'm going to make sure that this HTML file does not have a cart-dev element anymore. So I'll change this to my cart, because remember, if it does have a dev-cart or cart-dev, whatever it was, then the cart is going to try to render itself immediately. And we don't want that. We want the container to control when the cart renders. Then finally, inside of our container src bootstrap file, we can import mount from cart show and call mount with document query selector my cart. And that should be it. So I'm going to save this, go back over to my browser. I'll do a refresh. Duplicate variable names here, my mistake. Little change we need to make. We've got two functions called mount now. All we need to do is just rename one of them or both of them on the fly. So I'm going to rename the products index mount as products mount, like so, and as cart mount. Then the first one will be products mount instead. All we're doing is renaming that import so that they are not colliding, and cart mount. Much better. Okay, so now if we test, once again we see our application appear. And I should also be able to go to localhost 8082 and see my cart in isolation as well. Perfect. So now we can develop all these different applications in isolation if we want. Here's localhost 8082, here's 8081, which is products, and here's the container, which is loading up both applications. So I'd say this looks pretty good. All right, well, that's pretty much it for this first application. But there's still a lot for us to learn about micro frontends. So let's take a pause right here, kind of do a wrap up on this application, and continue on to our next one in just a little bit.